Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah!
And Iris is a cutie patootie.
Yeah, well, don't get any ideas, Phoenix, because Phoenix is totally taken by, somebody weird and wonderful, which is exactly what Phoenix needs. Not this, just whatever, pretty face.
Oh, it's hard to get lost in those eyes, though.
What? What about Maya? She's freezing!
Oh,
what about
right.
Maya has had to put up with that spiky hair, for how many episodes now? And now you're just gonna, throw it all away for some pretty eyes? Unbelievable!
I think we're on our 112th episode. I've lost count, to be honest. I'm gonna be amazed if this thing finishes under 120 episodes. But anyway.
Remember what Maya said? If anything happened, she said she would haunt you. Okay.
Okay.
We're coming.
Welcome back to our Ace Attorney series, and we're gonna go try to break Pearl's psyche locks, or whatever. Because I don't think there's anything else we can do here with Iris, so... Yeah. Iris, you do your job, we'll go do ours.
And remember, Luke, I'll haunt you too if anything ever happens.
That's great. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Suspension bridge. Better. I go crazy without you. Alright. Who's gonna change my socks? No.
That's not my job! That's not my job description.
I don't even wear socks most of the time, so...
You wear socks every day.
I do? I used to. Look at that! They really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh! Mr. Nick!
Ah! You're too late, Nick! If you came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off!
Oh, man!
I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding exactly. Alright, Pearls. I hate to do this, but... Take that.
Whoa! Psyche locks!
Boom, 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 boom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The night of the crime. Yeah, go to sleep, Zelda. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elisa's room reading a book together, correct?
Yes! I was so happy when she invited me up, but I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried, I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Miss Elisa's room. Can we just call her Misty now, please?
Yeah.
Because she was too worried that something or someone was coming.
Yes, we can.
Pearls? On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you?
Heavenly Hall?
Inner Temple.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, probably.
You went there, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Then the next question is, who or what were you so worried about?
Maybe Maya?
Now I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
Yeah, you mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay, Mr. Nick.
You went to this place for one simple reason, and that is to check on Maya. It's obvious that you were so worried about... This is what you were worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it? You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course.
I signed up for your special course.
Oh, my. How brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel. Creepy.
Yeah. Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Maya to the temple in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the inner temple.
Then we're clear now that you went to the inner temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About that time, what was it when you headed over to the inner temple?
It was probably around 9:30. Then I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. I wanted to get there before it started, but there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock.
Until after 10? How did you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
So she heard the lights out bell. The temple bell's pretty small though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She was trying to hear the bell. Tell me, Pearls, were you so worried about hearing the bell? Why were you so worried about it? I think I know why. The reason why you were so worried about that bell was because of this. Let's see. Probably have to be...
I don't know. Maybe there was something that was supposed to start, the training was supposed to start at 10 or something?
No.
Oh.
I think it has to do with this burnt letter. Let's try that. You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper?
Well, where did you, Mr. Nick?
In the incinerator at the inner temple. Pearls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
These instructions that you were found... these instructions were found in the incinerator. I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? No.
As you can see, a large portion of them has been burnt, but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls be trying to channel? It would have to be... Dahlia. Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel.
But why would she...
The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was... Dahlia.
But why would someone tell her to do that?
Her mother told her to do it. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini saw at the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
No. I've never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister, or rather was. Oof. Tough.
Poor Pearls.
About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls, who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit someone you'd never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. So, here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow?
Probably Miss Elise.
Probably her mother.
Oh my gosh.
Pearls, I have to wonder about something, okay? You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you? That's why?
How did you know?
I figured it out, Pearls. The person who wrote this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. All right, Pearls, it's time you started telling the truth, okay?
Mr. Nick, I
Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this.
Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child.
Huh?
If you're trying to say that I followed these instructions, I'd like to see some proof.
What?
Because I don't think you have any at all.
She'd say something rather than admit to carrying out those instructions, huh? I guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it.
Well, her mom is really messing her up.
All right, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right, there's no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it!
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
How do you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
A simple mistake? What do you mean by that?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you were given, but you misunderstood some of the words, and this is where the evidence proves it.
Misunderstood the words.
Misunderstood the words.
It says, well, what did it say?
I mean, that's
Maybe
pretty
that
weird.
was part of it. Maybe that was it. To destroy her image.
Mm-hmm. Try that. It was you who splattered the gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it?
What? Why would I do something like that?
I don't know, you tell me. Do you remember what was written in that letter? The gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. But you didn't know how to read the word gravely and roast, among others, right?
How did you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Miss Elise on the night of the murder?
Perhaps we can read some books together.
Really? Oh, I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading.
Well then, would you like to practice reading with me?
Miss Elise, so for example, how do you read this?
It says gravely. That's kind of a tough word.
That's how... Now I know how the mother
Oh.
died. She saw the note. She saw the note and she rushed to protect Maya, and then she ended up getting killed. That's what happened.
Oh.
So even though Maya never got to meet her mother... So...
Her mother sacrificed her own life for Maya.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what happened, because she was trying to read, you know, Little Pearls is trying to read stuff. She doesn't know what it is. So she gave it to Misty, and Misty, you know, just wanted to spend time with her niece. And then she read the letter and realized that her sister was plotting to channel, you know,
Yeah.
Dahlia and hurt Maya. So that's what happened. Somehow. That's what I'm saying. Sure, Miss Elise taught you how to read gravely and roast, but what she didn't teach you is that what they meant. Gravely sounded like gravy didn't... Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Gravely did sound like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food that we were having.
And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast.
To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
I'm really useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing. I couldn't even do it right. I
Aww.
can never do anything my mom wants me to do.
That's a good thing, Pearls.
That's a very good thing, Pearls. All right, the night of the crime.
Poor Pearls.
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple with a pot full of leftover gravy like the note said.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the secret cavern. I was sure it was the Master of Caroline like it said in the letter.
I see, and then?
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area.
The guest area?
Yes, and I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why didn't you just go to the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started. I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then I...
Pearls, did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it.
Well, I mean, she's like 11, so...
Don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris, too. It happens.
Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple?
Yes. When I woke up, it was morning. I tried not to cry, but the escape bridge wasn't there anymore. There was no one in the training hall at all. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept.
Oh, my little heart is breaking.
I threw the letter into the incinerator like my mom said, and then I heated up the leftover gravy
And let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried.
Yes!
It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too.
Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry. Just don't do it.
Being left at school versus being left on a mountainside all alone.
Mm-hmm.
It was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights of the bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No, I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's even happened. I tried and tried, and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It all will work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh, just like that.
So she never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone?
Yes, I don't know what to do.
Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
I suppose there's only one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Could you please tell me what it is anyway?
If somebody else was channeling it.
Mm-hmm.
It could happen if somebody else was already channeling the same spirit.
Pearls, try to become Mia. Someone else? What do you mean?
Well, there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yup, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken.
Then that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could.
What?
Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne.
Who would?
Misty or Maya.
I'm a failure.
I mean, if Maya found out about it, then she probably would do it to protect Pearls. She loves Pearls. She's like a little sister to her.
I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish?
Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. To make sure you follow the instructions very carefully.
This letter. Definitely need to find out more about it. Give me her last letter.
What a terrible thing to make your daughter do for her. Why wouldn't you just tell your daughter you loved her?
Oh.
My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearls. She's in jail.
Oh, I visit her every month. And last month, she told me.
The time we've been waiting has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at her home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fay clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now, listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter is hidden, my dear.
She looks so happy.
My mother is always nice to me, and I love her very, very much.
Yeah, moms will do anything for their kids, right?
Yeah, and she said it was good for the Fay clan, so I knew I had to help. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fay clan, so it had to be good for her, too.
Everyone facepalm.
That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick? Mr. Nick?
I guess so, yeah. No.
There was a picture with her letter, too.
A picture?
Of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is good enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time...
Pretty weird, huh?
Like Larry knows anything about this stuff.
There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter, Nick. The seal on it was broken, as if someone already opened it once before.
That sure is pretty strange.
So either Misty or Maya opened it. Someone had opened it already? Burnt letter updated in the court record. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
Oh, you're very welcome, Mr. Nick. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be okay because my mom will help.
Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Uh-oh. Finally figured it out, have you, Trite?
Not really.
You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is. Godot! The entrance to this sacred cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. I guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time. Why do you say that? Because Maya Fay isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that? It was your job to protect her, Trite. Just like it was your job to protect Mia.
Oh my god.
Two sisters caught up in a worst of circumstances. I realized that, but... And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. But I didn't know anything about what was going on. Huh. What did I just say, Trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow. We'll settle everything in court tomorrow, once and for all. What the heck?
Mr. Nick? Is what the man just said true?
It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick. Yeah, she's gonna be okay.
My dear Pearl, you've done so well, my child, my Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now, finally, after all this time, the master's seat is yours. My last great wish. It seems it was just in time.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Not a very nice sister.
Not a very nice sister, not a very nice family. They're all crazy. Oh boy.
February 10th, 9:39 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby, number 1.
Oh, good morning. Oh, are you here by yourself, Mr. Nick?
Morning, Pearls.
Mr. Nick, please tell me, what is gonna happen to Mystic Maya?
I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple.
Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall?
No, she's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple anymore. She's required to be here in court.
Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby?
I have to admit, it's kind of strange.
If you're looking, I don't know.
Yeah, you can try
If
it.
you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Just guess.
Edgeworth, that was the greatest Francisca impression ever. What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession, or so I heard. Francisca Van Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Francisca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot.
Oh my gosh.
Francisca's engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern.
The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean she's...
Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks.
Oh my gosh, she is kind of a good person.
With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, well thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow, Phoenix Wright. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. Oh, on the way here I decided that today would be the end of all of this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold onto someone else entirely. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hand. I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. Wait, he called me partner. We're friends again.
Partner?
I still don't have the answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. Oh my goodness. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise, no, I mean Misty Fay. Just call her Misty! The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kinda funny. And what that woman is really after. Power. I'll solve them all and bring the whole tragedy to an end once and for all.
Yeah, but Morgan Fay will never get what she wants, because even if Pearls became the head, she would never, like, out Maya and everyone else. She would still be friends with Maya. She loves Maya.
Oh my gosh, yes! Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of the Hazakiri Temple. Your Honor, what are you, Who, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot, except one's Canadian and one's Scottish.
Yeah, what? That doesn't make any sense.
My poor brother, he looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here.
Wow. How is one from Canada and one not then?
Stepbrothers, it's impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. That is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understand exactly what you said, at least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. Coffee. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean... Oh, forget it! What do you mean exactly? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of the temple has a confession to make. A confession? The defendant? Uh-oh. Iris.
What?
Why didn't she discuss this with me first?
A confession? She's gonna say she did it. To protect her sister because she feels bad about what she did to her sister in the past.
Her sister's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Very well. Unless she's trying to protect her other sister, Pearls. The Pearls didn't do anything. Other than throw gravy at a picture.
Yeah.
This court will now hear the defendant's confession.
She did. That's all she did. That's all she could do. Was
She
throw
did
gravy.
it dirty.
Yeah.
Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always asks for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris, but I'm simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple.
Witness, there's something that you want to confess to?
Yes, but first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
It's all right. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard, where I desecrated it.
What?
Wow.
Order in the court. Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that is correct.
What?
Why did she not tell us this?
3 minutes in court and already I'm covered in a cold sweat. Ha! Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? Oh, that Godot! So this is a confession you were conferring about. Yeah. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Iris' testimony crumpled and shoved into your pocket, out of frustration. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got questions for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering for someone. Ugh, now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket.
I've been in Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Kurine tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself if need be to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Kurine channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fay.
Huh? Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya!
Wait, she's accusing Maya?
Order on the court! So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer?
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her.
But why wouldn't you be protecting her now?
That's ridiculous! Maya could... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why didn't she tell us all this information before?
Oh, I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up getting in this direction. The real murderer.
I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it at all.
Wait, but we determined it wasn't in the garden. It couldn't have been.
So it was in self-defense?
Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first.
That doesn't make any sense. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya.
You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got instincts of a true criminal.
I feel like Iris is completely lying.
Something's not quite right about this. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the temple that night.
Yeah.
And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted to it.
Wait, maybe this is somebody channeling Dahlia right now.
Oh my gosh, this is too confusing. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. The real murderer.
Okay, I feel like Sister Bikini is the one who's doing all this. I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike.
She moved in to deliver a fatal strike?
Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon.
Wait a minute. What was this weapon?
It was some kind of dagger.
A dagger, huh? And, Misty tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Fay?
Yes, exactly.
Ha!
No way.
You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy?
Yeah.
I do have a problem with Iris's testimony, actually.
There is a
There's
lot of
one
things wrong.
thing.
Well, yeah.
Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? Well, this witness is your own client. Yeah, well, nevertheless. That's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps. I won't say it again.
Wait,
Final judgment will be rendered by me.
isn't she kind of acting like Dahlia?
What?
I don't know.
Okay, now, let's continue.
A little bit. She was like, yes, sir. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe.
All right, we know that's not true.
There's no way because she wasn't even stabbed with a dagger. She was stabbed with that.
Exactly. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of the events.
Huh?
Misty throwing her staff away makes no sense to me at all.
But all you can do with a staff is just hit someone.
No. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. If Misty really had wanted to kill Maya, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. At all times.
Didn't he already say already twice?
Yeah, probably. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? All right, Trite. That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trite. I never would have thought that there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A longsword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade.
What?
Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use is what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Mia Fay. Maya. Dang it. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony. That's enough, children. Mr. Wright, the prosecution does have a slight point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument.
Mr. Wright!
I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Misty would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fay.
Because she's her mom.
Exactly. Let's make sure I don't mess this up. I'm a little tired, so.
Percent.
Boom.
That's right.
Elise would never attack Maya Fay.
How can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name was not Elise. Her real name was Misty Fay. Fay?
Oh, no! Not Misty Fay!
Who is this Misty Fay? Is she related to, Misty Fay is the master of the Quran channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fay. Are you serious?
Whoa, remember.
Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Is Elise actually the great mystic Misty?
There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea.
I can hardly believe it.
The idea that she would have tried to kill her own daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years, is perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a horrible thing. Ugh.
Never. She would never do that.
No. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented now, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter. Despite the facts being believable when taken on their own, when taken together, the entire story seems difficult to swallow. Listen, there's nothing in this world that's impossible. Except for one little thing. Yes, what is it? What's that one little impossible thing? Huh. You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under roasted? You have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point, please? I heard this witness's confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee.
Oh my gosh!
It's going to ruin your health, my friend.
I
That's
know.
a lot of caffeine.
I know.
Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? Now that you mention it, it looks closely, there appears to be blood on it! Where did you find that? I didn't see it when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the cream of the pine tree at the scene of the crime? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree when the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women. This little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means the blood on the dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Ah. Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of the 13th cup of morning coffee.
But you just said 8.
Didn't you just say 8th like a few minutes ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that the blood be tested immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right.
Okay.
Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately.
It could be Maya's blood.
Don't say that! Dagger added to the court record.
Just say.
Now then, the testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be somewhat credible. Huh. Delicious. Cute girls never lie. Ever.
What? That's not true.
In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to the court. But we'll have to wait till tomorrow, guys and gals.
Aww.
I know. Cliffhanger. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we will see you with more Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright, tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Yay!
God bless and happy gaming.